Hello and welcome. You're watching Winning Post Ultra. I'm Mandira Lalwani here in Mumbai, where the frenzy of the derby is finally over, but the quality of racing is no less special. Let's have a quick look at what's coming up on this episode. Highlights of all the racing action from the weekend gone by. We have a chat with Dr. Feroz Khambata about the equine treadmill and how it is used effectively in the training of horses. The Mumbai racing season definitely plays hosts to the classics, but it also plays host to some great racing. Speaking of, let's have a look at the highlights from the SC Jain Trophy, the Deltin, Eclipse Stakes, as well as some of the other top races from the weekend.
Last Sunday saw a double-header at the Mahalaxmi Racecourse with two graded races featuring a glittering card of 8 events. Also in the mix was the Midday Trophy, the RWITC's print media partners who add to the glamour quotient, and this time their chief guest was popular Bollywood star Kangana Ranaut. The Delton Eclipse Stakes of India Grade 2 is one of the oldest and most traditional races, and the presence of Alan Dare as also the Indian Derby a week earlier meant that the field would be a small one. However, a gritty show put on by the Trevor-ridden B52 was one of the bigger upsets this season. B52 shot into the lead soon on start and galloped on tirelessly to pull off a clinical start-to-finish win, stunning the on-money favourite.
B52 comes in on first from Alan Dare is the one moving up nicely on the outside. 2.5 lengths behind is Jack Frost and there's Remember Me, but B52 is lead by half from Alan Dare is on the outside. 2.5 lengths behind is Jack Frost, but B52 stubbornly ahead from Alan Dare is the one galloping up on the outside. Is B52 from Alan Dare, is B52 from Alan Dare, is B52 from Alan Dare. B52 has made it from Alan Dare. Jack Frost third ahead of Remember Me. Last of 5 is Palatial.
Honestly, I thought it would be hard to beat Alan Dare because of the handicap difference. But we adopted a strategy. I told Trevor, you have blessed this horse with his first win, so you're going to bless him again today. I said he's got enough speed to dictate, control the pace and do your best. That horse is, for some reason I thought was a little under the weather because there was a joint injection given and he's a champion. Today is the luck of the race. At one stage, from home, he shifted out. Another few meters, he would have beaten me. He's jumped well, there was no pacemaker in the race. Now what could make the pace? So we just tried it. Otherwise, he's always comes from off the pace and races well. He's won 2 races over 2 miles and a quarter earlier.
The Dr. SC Jain Sprinters Championship Grade 2 also had a small field with some big names in the fray. Holy Smoke enjoyed the tote favourite status initially, but at race time, old warhorse Dancing Prances was gamely supported in the betting ring. Dancing Prances showed a lot of fire in the belly as he surfaced from the mid-bunch to bounce back to winning ways, beating a couple of younger horses with dazzling speed at the finish. Dancing Prances became the first horse to win the Dr. SC Jain Sprinters Championship title for the 3rd time in a row.
Into the straight, Dancing Phoenix comes in home first. It's got a lead of about half a length in front of Goldback coming up nicely. Holy Smoke is hovering around on the outside, and Dancing Pants is also coming into the picture now with about 300 meters more to run, and it's Goldback from Holy Smoke. Dancing Pants is coming up on the outside. Then there's Dancing Phoenix not giving up, but Dancing Panthers on the outside and Goldbag. These two are fighting it out. It's Dancing Panthers from Goldbag and the late finishing Your Royal Majesty, but Dancing Panthers is the winner. Dancing Panthers wins the Dr. S.C. Jain Sprinters Championship Grade 2 from Goldbag, Royal Majesty. Then there's Rennie followed by Dancing Phoenix.
Especially after the last run, a lot of people have said that he's gone old, he's a 7-year-old. But the trainer was pretty confident that 7 furlong didn't suit him and the pace was not much, so he got keen and he blew up that day. But today, since there was a hot pace, it just suited him perfect. At that time, I felt I just got to bide my time because this horse has got a habit. Once he takes over the running, he loafs a bit. So if I go too soon, then it will be dangerous. So I just waited along and then made my move.
Yeah, Goldback did give you a fight for a moment, and then you had Your Royal Majesty also coming on to you. But at any point in time, you felt that you were in doubt?
No, when I got next to Goldback, only then I pulled my stick. Until then, I was just going hands and heels. When I got past him and again put the stick down and just kept riding him, because if you force him too much also, he doesn't like it, this horse, because he's going fast enough. He knows his job very well. Especially in a 6, he just relaxes, and when you just show him daylight, he himself does everything.
Yeah, the Bangalore track, you know it very well. How do you think Dancing Francis will adapt to that?
It's a turning track. The only issue is if there's a hot pace. Then what happens, I can relax on him. If he gets keen, then on the turn he'll run out. If ridden, and if there's a hot pace there, and if ridden off the pace, I surely think he can do it.
I never thought that he would go back on what he has done. The only thing what happened, sometimes, the last time I think the light was disturbing him. And the best distance of his is the 1200 meter race. Of course, he's become older, but he's not lost zest for racing. Dancing Francis did me proud.
The Midday Trophy had the usual fanfare and actor Kangana Ranaut was very much in the focus. The guests of Midday were basking on the plush lawns and the afternoon party was alive and kicking. Let's now see who was thrilled at the 11-year association with the RWITC growing stronger by the year. On the turf, it was Spacey Shroff-trained Windsor Forest who garnered all the attention, with a scorching finish, winning the glittering trophy with a measure of comfort. Rochester would rue not positioning himself astutely early on in the race, as he finished with a flourish but had given too much leeway to the winner.
First, got a lead of about a length and a half, 2 in front of Gazino in second position. Angel Stuck is looking for a rail run. Then comes Windsor Forest on the outside, prominently poised in fourth position with 300 to go. It's Gazino who goes into the lead now, a length and a quarter in front of Windsor Forest under the stick. With them is Angel Touch also coming up in the middle with about 150 meters more to run, and it's Windsor Forest on the outside and Angel Touch. These two are battling it out. It's Windsor Forest on the outside now, is finishing on well. Windsor Forest wins this one from the late finishing Rochester.
Midday is very happy and proud to be a part of this race. When we started this 10 years back, we had no idea where we would keep on continuing this and make it such a success. So as you can see today, this day, as today, Midday race I think is the best race which is happening here. And Midday itself does a lot of publicity for this. And we're very happy to be a part of this. That's really a part of what RWITC has done and Vivek's personal intervention on this. And whether, it is the benefit, mutual benefit when Midday sees in this. Midday promotes the races as much as possible. I don't think any newspaper in Mumbai does it as much as Midday does. So Midday gets a lot of benefit out of it and Midday gives back as much as Midday can. And we see it just growing from here. Year on year we will ensure that Midday is a part. Earlier this was owned by someone else. Some 6 years back, Jagran Group bought it and Jagran was very clear that they should be a part of it. Our owner, Shailesh Gupta, was here last year. Unfortunately, he's traveling and he couldn't be here. But he has always instructed us that you have to ensure that this keeps on growing and Midday has to be a part here. When Midday started around 37 years back, one of the key elements for Midday were always its hit list section, which is to do with Bollywood. And the Bollywood coverage always has been, one of the best. That's why it is not very difficult for us to get glamour here. And race and glamour go hand in hand. So for us, we make a special effort that there is a leading star who's always present in this. We will ensure that this happens year on year again.
Time for a quick break. We'll be right back with more action. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Winning Post Ultra. Let's go back to the Derby weekend for just a second, where the Kingfisher Ultra Derby obviously eclipsed all the other races. But here's to cast a spotlight on some of the others that were equally important.
The Dr. MAM Ramaswamy multi-million on Derby Day was a fitting tribute to the doyen of Indian racing. Dr. Ramaswamy's passion for races is well known, and the late industrialist has won every classic in the country multiple times, having won more than 600 classics. Despite owning over 1,000 horses at any given time, Dr. Ramaswamy was known to know minute details about most of his horses. His memory was sharp, and his racing strategy is even sharper. The race in his memory had a competitive field of 11 runners, and Perfect Star, sporting Dr. Ramaswamy's famous gold and brown silks, was sent out as the firm favourite. He looked a tad fitter in the paddock after his close second on his debut run. Zanara too looked well in the paddock, and she was thought to be his main rival. Admo, who had had a forward run last time out, was also one among the fancied runners. Lord of the Sea from Pacey Shroff's stable looked peppy and had surprisingly higher odds in the double digits. Perfect Star showed alarming improvement and got going in the straight to carve out a fashionable maiden victory without causing any anxious moments to her large number of supporters.
Gold Bond as they straighten up for home. Into the straight, emotionless, comes in home first, got a lead of about a length and a half in front of Admo, inching closer. Samarjit looking for room in the middle. On the outside, Perfect Star coming up with a nice run on the outside to take charge. It's Perfect Star on the outside who goes ahead, about a length and a half in front of Lord of the Sea, moving into second position in chase. A length and a half, 2 lengths further back, there's Admo. And towards the inside race is Gold Bond with about 150 meters more to run. It's Perfect Star, now broken away, about 2.5 lengths clear and going on to win this one. Perfect Star wins the Dr. MAM Ramaswamy multi-million from Lord of the Sea, finishing up second.
Last race he showed a lot of improvement, and I was pretty confident for this race, because last time it looks like that he need little bit ground, and after that he showed a lot of improvement in the box.
The BK Ratani multi-million was another race for maiden 3-year-olds and was a wide-open race considering there were a good lot of well-performed youngsters. Benefactor looked the part in the paddock and was coming in with a good run, second last time out. Roosevelt, who had an educative run, looked in shape and had his share of supporters. Lady Sergeant had placed on her debut run and was among the fancied lot. It was the first-timer, however, Awesome Hooves, who proved too good for his rivals on the racetrack. He galloped spiritedly to make his debut run a victorious and a memorable one.
Benefactor getting down straight to the business from Wildfire. Then there's Lady Sergeant in the centre, Roosevelt, Lilybeth on the inside rails. Then there is Awesome Hooves. On the inside rails is Roosevelt, Lady Sergeant, Lady Be Good, Lilybeth, Camouflaged, and the others going inside the last 400 meters there. Benefactor has gone ahead now with Awesome Hooves coming up on the outside. Then there is Wildfire going inside the last 200 meters there. It is Awesome Hooves and Benefactor fighting it out in the last 100 meters. Then there's Wildfire and Lady Sergeant, but Awesome Hooves gets the measure of Benefactor in the last 100 meters. Awesome Hooves is the winner. Then there is Benefactor in second. Roosevelt comes in next. Sergeant, Lady Sergeant.
I always believed he had very good ability. I just had a question mark with his first time, and that was left to see, and he just proved that he has good class in him. So I hope to have a good future with this horse.
And his next target?
He's entered in the Poonawalla, so hopefully.
You know, I'm ecstatic, elated, jubilant. We will be there on 27th of February for that trophy.
This was his first run. I didn't expected him to take such a good jump. He was very quick out of the gates, and he was sitting in beautifully 4th, 5th position. In the straight he came very beautifully, you know. I had to just click at him, and he did it.
Slipping into a quick break here on Winning Post Ultra, we'll be back with Dr. Feroz Khambata and a treadmill for horses. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with Winning Post Ultra. Let's now talk about exercise, which for you and me is an extremely important part of our lives. But it's crucial for a racehorse. And in a racehorse's exercise regime, it's not just track work, but also supplementing with unconventional methods such as a treadmill. Have a look.
The treadmill is used for many things. It's used as a supplemental aid. So on the track, very often they have to make turns. They have a jockey on the back. They have issues with sand, with surface. And this is a very flat, even surface. It can go for an incline where we can put the horse up and go uphill with it. It doesn't need a person to be sitting on the horse's back, so there's no need of a jockey, which removes the pressure from the back. It has its disadvantages with that because it also means that there is no on the horse's back. However, we can accommodate by using an incline. As with any other treadmill, it is propelling. So the treadmill is acting like a moving surface, and that changes the dynamics of movement to some extent. But it has got very many functional advantages. The horse on a treadmill can be worked without tendon injuries because there is no shifting surface. There are no dips in the ground, which mean that it's a level field for the animal to work on. There is a constant ground plate, which means that there's the same amount of systematic pressure on landing every single stride, which means that bone joint abnormalities which happen because of changing pressures are to some extent alleviated. The treadmill is used for like for instance, horses who get microfractures of their shin bone, shin problems. A treadmill will help that horse because it improves the circulation of the bone, it improves the remodeling of the bone and helps in recovery. Well, as I said, the treadmill is a supplement to a training routine. Horses can go fast on the sand surfaces, on the grass surfaces, but they also need a certain amount of concussion to improve their bone quality. They require to use their tendons and ligaments in a very uniform manner, in a standard manner, without turns and ups and downs, and that helps. The treadmill can help in that. You can't do away with the training program, but you can supplement a training program with the treadmill. As I said, with shin bone fractures, for instance, you require a combination of both treadmill and sand or track surface exercise. It's very useful in the treatment of lame horses because you have a controlled surface to work on. This treadmill can go up to 60 kilometers an hour, though we generally don't take it above 50-52 because 50-52 is still a very, very high speed for a horse on a treadmill. This is a very unique treadmill. This was made by us, my wife and me, in collaboration with a mechanical engineer and fabricator. This is a very unique treadmill because the treadmill has got cast iron blocks on the base, and each cast iron block is supported by polyurethane bushes. There are 6 polyurethane bushes accommodating each 8-inch cast iron block. So when the foot lands on the steel plate, which is on top of the cast iron block, it sends the recoil straight onto the PU bushes, and it takes the concussion off. So we have had zero, that means no post-treadmill exercise breakdowns because of concussion on this treadmill. There's a 25 HP motor which runs the whole treadmill with a 1.6 centimeter belt. The belt runs on a steel plate, and the steel plate rolls on the cast iron blocks and PU bushes. So it's quite a complex little mechanism there. Human treadmills are very movable plate. So the plate bounces up and down, which creates a recoil. If I was to put a horse on a recoil machine like that, there would be a lot of breakdown. So it's a very big difference in human and equine treadmills. They require a firmer surface. They require no recoil, so that transmission of energies across and back across the leg are minimized. Over the last 10 years, we have modified this treadmill considerably. To start with, it was on a ramp. So a horse had to walk up the ramp, get on the treadmill and walk down the ramp. We changed that system to bring the treadmill underground so that the horse walks in and out on a flat surface. We've changed our side ramps because in the past there were some issues with safety.
which we have slowly gotten rid of. The side railings have been changed, the paddings have been changed. So we've constantly worked with this to make it safer and safer for a horse and have the least possibility of any injuries on the mill. I think we are very well set with it now. We have virtually no injuries of late, and I'm quite happy with what we have now.
And that's all we have time for in this episode of Winning Post Ultra. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've missed anything at all, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel. Also, remember to follow Mohit Lalwani for his tips on Twitter. And see you next week. Until then, goodbye. May the horse be with you.